Howdy. My purpose here today is to show you how to use the NumberSense MiniQuizzer if you don't already know how to do it. Okay, I'm already in the Teams, the UIL NumberSense folder, class notebook, going to the content library, NumberSense study guides, and this is just simply the Excel spreadsheet with a little 10-question quiz, hence I just renamed it MiniQuizzer. I have replaced every one of these documents. I have been updated them just to show you a little bit what I've been doing. Let's start with memorization. If I scroll down, memorization 2, table of squares. This right here is what I have added. These are codes that we will use with the MiniQuizzer. Squares 12 through 19 will use code 241. Squares 20 through 29 will use code 250. And squares that end in 5 use code 323, like these down here at the bottom. I've written those down. I'm going to come back to them in a few minutes. Some other examples, table of cubes. I'm going to use code 37. Scrolling a little further, fractions, decimals, percents. I believe code 468 is just a generic one, whereas code 148 is specifically for something over 12. So 1/12, 2/12, 5/12, etc. Code 149 will be things with 11 in the denominator. Code 151 with 8. Lots of 8s. Code 283, 16ths, those have also been showing up a lot recently. Let's see, what codes did I use? I've used 468, 151, 283, down here the 16th, 150, the 9th, 95, another 8th, and 153, which is the 6th. But there's lots and lots. You can use whatever codes that you're interested in. Just we'll go to multiply and scroll down a little bit into this. See, I'm passing some as we're going. Multiply 4 here, squares ending in 5. That again, that's code 323. So, 45 squared, 55 squared, 75 squared. This is a little trick to help you memorize those if you need it. If you had an interest in learning the trick for multiplication by 11, it's code 18. If you want to jump ahead and study the trick for multiplication by 25, that's code 91, etc. All right, with all that in mind, then we would come back here to the MiniQuizzer, open, download this document, whatever. I've already opened it for myself, so I'm going to jump here. And what we see is a 10-question quiz. Before I get into all that, look at this stuff down here at the bottom. You have several tabs. We have a question tab, output, tests, people, sheet 1 and sheet 2. I did not design this. Somebody else designed it and shared it with me. These last 4, tests, people, sheet 1, sheet 2, these are things that he was doing with his students. We're just going to ignore that. Questions. This is where he actually designed the brains of everything that makes this work. Code 6 is a divide by 9 problem. We just said code 18 is the times 11 trick. Don't mess with any of this stuff because this is all the things that make it work. Really, the only part we're going to touch is the output page. And again, 10-question quiz, hence it's called the MiniQuizzer. And this part right here is where you enter the codes. And I had already said we're going to do code 241. So this was 12 through 19 squared. It gave us 17 squared. 250. So this is 20 through 29 being squared. And notice the other one changed. So every time you hit enter here, it changes. 323. This is for something that ends in 5 being squared. 37. Now we've got our cube. And notice if I type something here, that's not really going to do anything because it's not in one of the correct spaces. I got to be on the correct row. 468, 151, 283, 150. And just to also demonstrate, if I type 150 again, it gives me the exact same thing. So I really can't go through and type multiple things. It's not going to get me different problems. 95 and 153. So here's our quick little 10-question quiz we've got. Again, some squares, cubes. This one here is kind of random, whatever. Whereas this one was the specifically eighths, this one sixteenths, ninths. This here is also another version of the eighths, 12.5, and this one's the sixth. Now, this part down here are the answers. So before you do that, you might want to kind of scroll in so that you don't see that. Now, from here, we could take the 10-question quiz, and then after you take the 10-question quiz, scroll down here and see the answers. So did you know 19 squared is 361? Did you know 35 squared is 1225? Did you know that 11/16 as a decimal is not 11/16, but rather it is the 0.6875? So just be aware of that. 5/8 as a percent mixed number, 62.5. Anyway, that is basically it. Now, if you wanted to take this quiz again, you just need to retype a number. So like come up here to the 250 and just type 250 again and press enter, and it's going to give us some more values. If you decide you want to change it a little bit, okay, I'm still working on the squares, but now I'm going to, let's do the 11s trick. Got that in there. I can decide, let's see, what was that code? 91? Throw in the times 25 trick, etc. And you can practice this as many times as you want with whatever code you want. And that's why I went back and through all of these things, I have been adding all the codes. Now this right here, MiniQuizzer answer document, I've also already opened that. It is just a sheet of paper where I've already pre-marked the questions 1 through 10 with the answer blanks. There's 3 on top, and then there's 3 more on bottom. So it's just a sheet of paper with 6 quizzes on it. You know, quiz number 1, what's your score? Because I'm interested in what you scored on it. But I'm also very interested in your time. How long did it take you to do this? Did you knock it out in 45 seconds? Did it take you 3 minutes and 23 seconds? Did it take you 8 minutes and 15 seconds, etc.? So I want you to time yourself as well as the accuracy, speed and accuracy. Let's see, wrong thing. But again, this is just taking you back to our MiniQuizzer, and I make use of this. This is probably the best thing that we have along with the study guide. So we study with the study guide and then come take these mini quizzes to practice it. Hope that helps.